welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 classic Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Duck, Rabbit, Duck, and with me today is both a rabbit and a duck, my good friends Eli Copperman and Manny Cruz, the Toonie Tenor. Say hi, guys.
I can't do the woohoos as well as Daffy, but what's up, boys and girls? Glad to be back and reviewing an all-time classic Chuck Jones cartoon.
I'm a fricasseeing tenor.
Ooh. So you mean you're a fricassee, you're a fricassee, forget it.
All right, Porky. I didn't know he made a cameo in this short.
So, just a few bits of info to get underway. So, as mentioned, this is for Duck, Rabbit, Duck, released on the 3rd of October, 1953. It's the 692nd in the series, and it's directed by Tom Palmer. Sorry, just kidding. Chuck Jones. Of course it's Chuck Jones. Who else would be directing the Hunter Trilogy? So you can find this short on the Looney Tunes Gone Collection Volume 3 DVD set and the Looney Tunes Platinum Collection Volume 2 Blu-ray set, and that Blu-ray set has all 3 of the Hunter Trilogy. Because I can't show it to you here, it's copyrighted on YouTube, so the video will just get blocked if I try and show it. But in case you're one of the few that haven't seen this one, it's the 3rd in the so-called Hunting Trilogy, where Elmer is once again out on the hunt, but in winter this time, with Daffy once again trying to convince Elmer it's really rabbit season instead of duck season. So, nothing deep, but, you know, for the few that haven't seen this one, that's what happens. Trivia-wise, not really much. I've just got 2 for this one, and then we can certainly dive into the cartoon. I just mentioned this is the 3rd, and it's the final of the Hunting Trilogy. So this would have been done before the studio shutdown, so needless to say, when they reopened the studio, perhaps Jones and Maltese didn't see the need to really revisit this idea anymore. I think it was just like, yeah, we've said all we need to say, and that. And I'll just point out that by this point, Maurice Noble was involved. He was in Rabbit Seasoning, that's his first on-screen credit, but this time around we also have Richard Thompson. Manny, don't say it.
Hello, Mr. Thompson. Think he's talking to you.
I think we got to try and get the Simpsons reference out of the way earlier on. And Abe Levitot. No, not Abe Simpson. Abe Levitot. That's my Simpsons one.
That raccoon stole my lamb chop.
Oh, I'm making that the intro to this video. People will be like, what on earth is this?
Instead of Anthony's animation talk, it's Anthony's Abe Simpson talk.
I'm doing this review wearing onions on my belt, which is the style at the time. You know, the usual stuff like that.
And you used to be with it, but then they changed what it was.
Exactly. But in any case, the other bit of trivia, one of my favorite lines in this is,
I'm not a stewing wabbit. I'm a fricasseeing wabbit. Fricasseeing wabbit?
I'm not a stewing rabbit, I'm a fricasseeing rabbit. And of course, they're playing up the whole fricasseeing thing in this. Just so you know, because everyone knows this, right, guys? That fricasseeing, or fricassee rather, is a stew made with pieces of meat. And I love how stupid Elmer is for not knowing. Because I know what fricasseeing is. Everyone knows, right, guys?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Well, I don't think I've ever had a fricasseeing stew before. I mean, I'm sure I have, but I've never actually eaten rabbit before, so I'm going to have to take Bugs' word for it.
I'd provide some fricassee for this recording session, but since this is not a union job, you guys are tough out of luck, so no fricassee today, unfortunately.
Womp,
Womp, womp. So, let's take a look at this short. First of all, I mean, just about everyone's seen this one, but do you think it's fair to say, and Manny, I think you made this point in one of the other Hunting Trilogy ones, this one is probably the most memorable because it's in winter. It seems to be more unique in that way.
The setting definitely stands out because I don't know about you guys, but I often confuse rabbit seasoning and rabbit fire, like the specific jokes. I mean, the elephant gun joke and the pronoun trouble joke and Bugs in drag as the blonde hunter. Like, I remember those jokes well, but then I have to ask myself, is that seasoning or fire? And I keep going back and forth. It's honestly how I feel about the majority, if not all, of the Roadrunner shorts. Like, I know in an older commentary I said, yeah, I might remember specific gags from specific shorts, but it's so hard. But with this one is that, yeah, the winter setting and just the whole running theme of whenever Bugs pulls out a sign and you hear the ba-da-na-na-na-na-na, which kills me every single time it happens. That's the one joke of this cartoon that stands out the most, is just, you know, the mongoose season and the dirty skunk season and the pigeon season. And obviously with Rabbit Fire, you have the whole rabbit season, duck season ending that's been memed a lot where they, you know, they're pulling off the posters. But yeah, this is definitely probably the most unique of the 3. I mean, the first one you argue is the most unique because it was the first one. Then they're like, oh, wow, we have a really cool idea. Let's run with it. Jones and crew could have made another 3rd short in the woodland setting, but fortunately him and probably Maurice Noble nudged him along and says, hey, let's do it in the winter instead.
Yeah, no, I think it stands out a little bit, although, yeah, primarily for the winter setting, but I would say it does stand out with the gags because there's definitely a decent variety of gags in Rabbit Fire and Rabbit Seasoning, but I would argue a little more than half of the jokes in the cartoon is honestly just a running gag. And it's a really funny gag. I think this is the point. Feel free to disagree with me, and this could also be with the inclusion of newer animators like Abe Levitow and Richard Thompson, but I'm starting to feel like around this time is when Chuck Jones's character designs and character poses become a little more, I don't want to say stylized, but to his more cutesified graphic art style in the 1960s onward, especially if you've ever seen his Tom and Jerry shorts and How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Well, it's all an evolution. Eventually just evolved into what it ended up becoming, and that's what I like about a lot of artists. They'll just evolve. I mean, Chuck Jones, whether you like his latest stuff or not, you can't deny that at least he continued to evolve as an artist. He just kept on going, and again, some people didn't like his latest stuff, and I know some people don't like the stuff he did for the galleries, for example, but you can't deny at least he evolved. He, did his own thing, and that's that. So I can agree with you. It's just maybe not as prominent now. I think maybe later in the 50s, I would argue it started getting more like that.
Yeah.
But look, it is what it is. And yeah, Abe Levitow, he could uncannily draw like Chuck. And who knows, maybe Chuck was influenced by what Abe was doing as well, kind of thing. Because I noticed that Abe tends to draw Chuck Jones, but more cuter. So maybe they played off each other.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe there's part of that. I don't know. But again, he evolved as an artist, and that's what I like about Chuck, even in some of his weaker stuff later on. But let's have a chat about this short itself. We'll have a look at it from start to finish. And, I've got to say, this one's probably the most wordy of the three.
Even more wordy than Pronoun Trouble?
I think so. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I love the intro music. And look, later on, Manny, you'll no doubt go through music because I keep you locked up in a cage and only let you out to talk about music, right? Because there's nothing else for you. You have no value otherwise.
And he feeds me old pizza crusts once a week. There's another Simpsons reference.
There we go again. Don't play a drinking game of all the Simpsons references you hear, you'll probably die.
But the opening to this, it's the same type of opening like Rabbit Seasoning, although I would argue it's maybe not as extreme, because in Seasoning it's all those massive signs and that, but here it's not as much. But it's nice to see a good use for the signs creating that fire,
I mean, hey, winter gets really cold around those parts, so you got to start the fire somehow.
Exactly. But one of my favorite deliveries of this short, I just love how Elmer breaks the fourth wall. He's like,
I'm a wet-hot sportsman after wild game. Huh? Oh, boy. Fresh rabbit stew.
I'm a wet hot sportsman after wild game. Just, I don't know, that delivery gets me. I don't know why. Explain that to me. You're just crazy.
A wet hot sportsman.
So if anyone has grown up with the Looney Tunes Golden Collections, some of the bonus features are music-only tracks, and that's mainly thanks to Greg Ford for chronicling the Carl Stalling project and all that stuff. But Duck Rabbit Duck was one of the shorts on the Volume 3 Golden Collection that had a music-only track. And what's funny is on those tracks, it's usually just the music, no dialogue. But during that scene where it introduces Elmer, it actually does play the brief clip of Arthur Q. Bryan singing A Hunting We Will Go. Afterwards, there's no more audio. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yep, and no doubt Manny will go through the music because, like I said, that's his only reason for existing.
Pretty much.
I love the sign designs, though. This way to Rabbit and all that. I've always loved those designs, both in Rabbit Seasoning and now in this one. Just, it's really nice. I mean, Daffy is some designer, though. I mean, if he couldn't make his way as an actor, why didn't he just become a sign writer? I don't know. I think he had some talent there, I would say,
He chose the wrong career path. That's on him.
And here's a good example of what Maurice Noble would have added in one of his little touches, is that long yellow arrow, because I don't think anyone else would have done that. That screams Maurice Noble.
It's definitely a Maurice Noble touch as far as I can tell. He was definitely willing to go the extra mile in interesting details compared to other art directors or layout artists at the time.
Yeah, definitely. And look, the fact that he picked yellow, which I know it's yellow on snow, has got another connotation, but at least here it does work in terms of a color scheme, because I reckon if it was something else, it would have been too distracting. At least the yellow blends nicely and it doesn't overpower the scene itself. I thought that was a great color choice, despite, once again, having an interesting connotation otherwise when it comes to snow, which we will not get into, of course. Another great line.
Molasses coming up. Funny, I didn't think Molasses would run in January.
Confession time. When I was a kid, I had no idea what molasses is.
Believe me, Doc, I'm American. I still don't know what molasses are.
It's like a type of syrup that's thicker in consistency than like maple syrup. Molasses is a viscous byproduct principally obtained from the refining of sugar cane or sugar beet juice into sugar. Man, diabetes. Molasses varies in the amount of sugar, the method of extraction, and age of the plant. Sugarcane molasses is usually used to sweeten and flavor foods. Yeah, that's from Wikipedia. But, oh, I didn't know that. The word comes from Portuguese. Cool. But yeah, like, you know, the expression, oh, you're as slow as molasses, you know, if you're pouring it out of, I don't know, a jar or whatever it may be. It takes a lot longer than, yeah, I don't know, like real maple syrup, not like, you know, the concoction of high fructose corn syrup that they have here in the States. And of course, I'm thinking maple syrup, and I'm thinking, hey, Blue, where are you? You know, our resident Canadian, you know, to help explain. Like, maybe you should have him on a commentary and just talk about maple syrup and molasses and I don't know. And now I want pancakes and waffles. Ooh, waffles. There you go, Anthony. There's a reference to your favorite film.
And then I see in the comment section, where's Manny? Why isn't he in any more videos?
Why do I hear a loud beeping sound during all the Mandy's Music Time segments?
But yeah, molasses is like a byproduct of sugar cane, as you said. When things are refined more and more and more, it ends up being granulated like sugar. But it's, of course, another episode of Anthony's sugar talk or, you know, diabetes talk, whatever you want to call it. Another great exchange is, you know, have you got a fricasseeing rabbit license? Like, how specific do they want to get with these licenses?
Have you got a fricassee rabbit license?
Well, no.
Do you happen to know what the penalty is for shooting a fricassee rabbit without a fricassee rabbit license?
Yeah, well then again, you'll need license for everything these days, so fricassee and rabbit isn't that far off.
Yep.
Just a parboiled minute. What is this, a cooking class? Shoot 'em! Shoot 'em!
But I haven't got a license to shoot a fricassee rabbit.
And Daffy's eye after Elmer goes, yeah, I don't have a license to shoot a fricasseeing rabbit. This is Jack going even further than what he did in the other two installments with trying to hold it pose as much as possible and animating as little possible for maximum effect.
That one pose of Daffy just like, bruh.
That's the one. That's the one with the eyes and it be animated with a little sound effect as well. As you always say, Manny, chef's kiss to that. I like how they use the word fricasseeing because it ends up starting off another joke about how on earth do you spell fricasseeing, and in case you are wondering, Fricasseeing. I mean, everyone knows that, right?
Yeah, we'll leave
Certainly.
it at that.
Yes.
This license permits bearer to shoot a fricassee. Hey, Bud, how do you spell fricasseeing? Fricasseeing. The D-U-C-K.
But I like the added D-U-C-K at the end. I mean, the writing on this one is so perfect. Maltese really is just firing on all cylinders in this one. My goodness, who would have even thought of using the word fricasseeing? Absolutely incredible, you know. Then we got the timing of, you know, hurry up, you know, like, it was just waiting.
Here you are, leather stocking, all nice and legal. Hurry up, the fine print doesn't mean a thing. Hurry up.
And then, of course, yeah, we get the whole running gag now. He goes, oh, I guess I am the goat.
And the first thing I pop over my Daffy, you're the greatest of all time, but you just got shot. So yes, goat in the modern sense, greatest of all time. And I know he's talking about the actual animal. Come for Manny's animal sounds talk. And yeah, it just made me chuckle. It's just like, you know, I think I might do that myself where I might isolate that scene of Daffy saying, well, I guess I'm the goat, you know, and just give Daffy some, because, you know, he's struggling a bit. He's too busy picking his beak off the ground.
Here, let's see that thing. Fricassee and duck. Well, I guess I'm the goat. What?
And I think of Anthony's favorite artist in the world that he listens to on a daily basis, Taylor Swift. And I think of one of those compilations of one of her songs, da 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 it draws in the goat screen. Did you guys ever see that or no?
No, because I've told
Maybe.
you before, I've never heard a single Taylor Swift song in my life.
I don't like literally like
I live
you're
in a
the only
bubble.
human being.
I live in a
Yeah,
bubble. I'm nothing but Looney Tunes. I've got no life, and maybe I have heard one of her songs. Maybe when I'm in a shopping center or whatever, or maybe on a commercial if it's on TV. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I just hope the Swifties are not going to now cancel me because I haven't heard any one
Oh
of her
boy,
songs.
you don't want to get the wrath of the Swifties, man. That's you're
No,
looking for trouble.
You'd say my channel would have a swift cancellation in that case, right?
It'll be Anthony season.
Oh, I bet it'll make twax.
And you are a dirty skunk.
I'm a dirty skunk? I'm a dirty skunk?
Brother, am I a pigeon?
And what you want about the beak impacts of the other two? This one, I think they perfected it.
It definitely has a lot of the more interesting ones. And like I said, the point where Daffy has the beak underneath his neck and stuff, that pose really sticks out to me. He actually, feel free to disagree, but I think his eyes in that pose make him look a little bit like Marvin the Martian.
So that running gag of Daffy being all sorts of animals, that kills me. You know, what is it, mongoose and skunk? You know, I'm a dirty skunk. Brother, am I a pigeon? It's just, this cut is just so damn quotable. That's the other great thing about this one. Do you, Manny, quote the pigeon one? You know, brother, am I a pigeon?
Every single day, because I am a feathered rat myself. No, there's another Simpsons reference, but yeah, in this area we do have pigeons floating around, so
Just a few.
just a few, not too
Just
many.
a few. It reminds me of another very obscure Simpsons joke where one of the bird watchers in one of the episodes is like, he's seeing all the rare birds. It's like, oh, pigeon. That was the last one on my list. It's like the most common. Oh, I love that one. I love that one. Okay. So, yeah, after all the animal stuff, it's like, okay, let's get back to fundamentals. So Daffy's trying to reset everything. And I just love that. And again, this is a very wordy short, and it's just ironic that later on Chuck Jones would be critical of Hanna-Barbera being, you know, illustrated radio, and whereas here it's very, very talky, although at least visually it's more interesting than Hanna-Barbera, I would argue.
Now let's get back to fundamentals. All right, now, let's go over it once more. Now, what are you?
I'm a hunter.
And what season is it?
Wabbit season.
I think I enjoy that more as an adult now, more so than a kid. I think as a kid, you sort of laugh more at the silly beak formations, and when you're an adult, you love the whole, let's just reset this, shall we? Like you're coming out of a meeting with a disgruntled employee or something.
Yeah, those cartoons were made more for the guys that turn my terrorists first and foremost. So there's no way their audience was children or even adults first things first.
Oh, definitely. And I like how, yeah, to break things up, so Bugs makes the snowman sort of thing that he does. Just when he shoots the snowman, he's like, good heavens, he disintegrated.
And there's a rabbit! Shoot him! Shoot him!
Good heavens. He disintegrated.
What's up, Doc? How are things down here on Earth?
And then Bugs comes down as a fake angel.
How are things down on Oit? I love that line delivery.
Daffy's reaction to the whole thing disintegrated, and one of the best lines, again, there's so many great lines in this short. I mean, just about everything is best line to me in this one, but it's like, I hope I didn't hurt you too much when I killed you. It's actually a callback all the way from A Wild Hare, you know, when Elmer gets all emotional when he thinks he's killed the rabbits, you know, and it's just, what kind of hunter is this? I mean, once again, you know, he's a red hot sportsman after wild game, you know, maybe he doesn't realize what wild game is. Maybe he needs to find another hobby. But anyway.
Golly, Mr. Wabbit, I hope I didn't hurt you too much when I killed you.
Are you nuts?
We get a callback. I love these callback jokes, you know, if he is dead, I'm a mongoose. Da 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 da. And then we get the, yeah, just a lovely call. Once again, Matt says, Hef's kiss to that one.
Why, if he's dead, then I'm a mongoose.
Manny, I'm going to predict that one of your favorite lines in this one is, more briefing, more briefing.
You're right. More briefing? More briefing, yeah.
Is that what you say at work? You know, it's like more briefing,
More briefing? More briefing. I mean, obviously, we can go on and on talking about just how amazing Mel Blanc is in this cartoon, but just maybe I'm going crazy or overthinking it, but it's just, there's a lot more subtlety in Arthur Q. Bryan's voice. In my opinion, this cartoon, when he delivers that, I didn't mean to hurt you when I killed you, or him singing A Hunting We Will Go, or that line right there, more briefing, more briefing.
More briefing?
More briefing.
There's different levels of Elmer that he brings out in this cartoon. I think that adds to the enjoyment of this particular short. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree, but I notice it here.
I can see that.
Definitely. So we can get some more wordplay. You go, all right, so you're just going to listen to me, right? Of course, Bugs then dresses up as a duck, and Daffy has a bit of a brain fart. He's like, shoot the duck, shoot the duck. And it's got one of my favorite expressions after shoot the duck. Bang.
Now then, you've got it straight. You're not going to pay no more attention to no more signs. You're just going to listen to me, right?
Right.
Quack, quack. Oh, that's his little game, is it? Shoot the duck! Shoot the duck!
I can't even defend Daffy there. He walked right into that one.
Yep. I mean, I do wonder what was actually Bugs' plan, though. If Daffy didn't say shoot the duck or whatever, if, we would have got a reprise of what happened in Rabbit Fire, but I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's funnier this way, I think. And then, Daffy just completely mentally breaks down. I'm a fiddler crab. Shoot me, shoot me.
Daffy's like, I'm an elk. Shoot me, shoot me.
Shoot me again! I enjoy it! I love the smell of burnt feathers, and gunpowder, and cordite! I'm an elk! Shoot me! Go on! It's elk season! I'm a fiddler crab! Why don't you shoot me? It's fiddler crab season!
And I'm trying to remember what commercial this was, so somebody in the comments, please help your lovable Toonie tenor out. It might have been the Looney Tunes show or the Chuck Jones show, one of those shows that they used to have on Cartoon Network back in the day, that they would use that clip in the commercials for one of the package shows that they had on Cartoon Network in the 2000s. So if someone remembers which one it is, please write it in the comments.
And Elmer gets all confused, and we see the game warden. Now, what is with Bugs and those really baggy costumes that people seem to not realize it's him?
He's a master of disguise.
Of course. Yes. And Chuck Jones and Mark Batiste will revisit that idea later on with all those different hats and costumes and stuff, which I can't wait to cover that. Sure, that's going to be a really good one, for sure. So, can you tell me what season it really is? And what season is it, Manny?
It's baseball season.
Oh, Mr. Game Warden, I hope you can help me. I've been told I can shoot rabbits and goats and pigeons and mongooses and dirty skunks and ducks. Could you tell me what season it really is?
Why, certainly, my boy. It's baseball season.
I'll admit the weakest part was probably the very end, but you know what? It's fine for it is. What season is it really? It's really duck season, and we end with, once again, the line that originated in the first of the Hunting Trilogy, and it's an interesting little bookend. You're despicable. So, there we are. So, Mr. Manny. In terms of music cues, I mean, we get one little interesting musical bit in this one, but what do we hear in this short?
So, in this short, we have a few cues. Obviously, we start off with Merrily We Roll Along, the Merry Melodies theme song. And then we move on to a piece called Winter by Albert Gumbel. You hear that during the opening titles. How appropriate. I mean, they could have used Winter from Vivaldi. I mean, there's Wintertime, Love from the Doors. Wait a minute, that song was written 14 years after this cartoon was released. Never mind. And then we move into a little bit of the French with Daffy Duck humming the melody of La Vie en Rose. Hopefully I said that right. French piece that you've heard in other Warner Brothers shorts. And then, of course, the brilliant, amazing Arthur Q. Bryan, as Eli mentioned before, singing, "A hunting we will go, hunting we will go."
Hunting we will go, hunting we will go. I-O the Mario, hunting we will go.
I mean, I could listen to that on a loop. I'm actually, while I'm
Doing it
recording
right
this,
now.
I'm hunting while I'm going.
You sing it better than me, Doc.
Maybe I should find that audio, cut it, and put it on my iTunes library or Apple Music, whatever they call it now, and just put it on a loop. And I'm going to jump ahead to the ending. So after Bugs tells Elmer that it's baseball season and Elmer snaps, he starts shooting the ball, and you hear a little bit of frat, which you hear a lot in Warner Brothers Shorts by John Barth.
Here, boy, go get it, go get it. Got rid of him, eh? Yep.
But probably the musical cue that made me laugh the most, and again, chef's kiss, thank you, Carl Stalling, for your genius. And I know some people, I think Chuck Jones in particular, wasn't a big fan of when Carl Stalling would do this in cartoons, but you know, like making the joke more obvious with the music. But for me, it kills me. And during the scene where Bugs is spelling out fricasseeing rabbit, and you start hearing the melody of the ABC song in the background, you know, you spawn to hear dun 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 dun, and that was one of the biggest laughs I get in that cartoon. I'm just like, I know Jones wasn't a huge fan of it. He complained about it in Chuck-a-Muck, his book from 1989. But for me, I'm a sucker for that type of gag.
Fricasseeing. The D-U-C-K.
Because, like, a lot of composers, when they reuse other songs, like, it's not that they do a bad job at it, but with Carl Stalling, it's not even that he incorporated the stuff, it's that he incorporated the songs in a way where it's so seamless that you wouldn't catch it on first viewing sometimes.
Mhm.
And even if you do, it fits within the context very well. And most of the time growing up, I didn't even know that a good chunk of those scores were from already existing works or anything, so no skin off Stalling or anything.
I think that same thing with me, where I've seen this cartoon before, obviously, but I think that was the first time that I picked up on Stalling using the melody of the ABC song in the background during that scene. So that's the joy of coming back to revisiting these cartoons. Speaking of music, the bop, ba 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 ba. That's from A Hunting I Will Go. Okay, I was like trying to remember, is that from A Hunting I Will Go, or is that from another song? And then I actually found a recording from a Disney compilation of children's music, and it has like Donald Duck on the cover, and they have them singing A Hunting I Will Go, but I think with alternate lyrics. And something that made me chuckle, because, well, we know this obviously because we are nerds, but this cartoon was made in the 50s, and it's always cool hearing words that have changed in meaning over the years. The first one that I will bring up is when I think Daffy talked to Elmer. He says, "Come here, Daniel Boob."
Don't go away, Daniel Boob. I'll be back in a flash.
And of course, I chuckled like a little boy because I'm very mature. Boob means idiot.
Back in the day, it's what that they referred to
Yes,
it.
back in the day, and now it refers to don't type it on Google.
In terms of a score, this one, look, it will get a 10 out of 10 because I think it is pitch perfect. It's a perfect cartoon, just like with the rest of the trilogy. But is it my favorite of the trilogy? I honestly don't know. I think the second one might be my favorite. I think it's one of those things where if you ask me the question on a different day, I might answer differently. You know what? All three are great. If you watch all three one after another, it could actually make for a decent short movie of sorts. So I love it. 10 out of 10 for me.
I give this a 9 out of 10. I think the only reason I won't give it a 10 is because, and it's really minor, there's really nothing wrong with the cartoon other than because we have the two other cartoons, it's not completely 100% surprising all the time. But that's not saying much. It's still a cartoon on its own. Although my personal favorite will always be a Rabbit's Seasoning, just for a lot of the line deliveries and the surprises at the end. But no, otherwise, if you were to ask me to watch any trilogy of cartoons, not movies, but cartoons, I'd pick this one in a heartbeat.
I used to say that this one was like my favorite, I guess because of how the setting was unique. And with the multiple season jokes happening, it's hilarious. I think I will give this one a 10 out of 10 as well, but kind of like what Anthony was saying, it might change on different days. I think I need to sit down and watch all three of them in a row, just literally back to back to back at the same time. And then from there I could say, oh yeah, definitively this one's my favorite one of the three. Off the top of my head, I would say probably, if I narrowed it down, like get rid of one, I would either say Rabbit Seasoning or this one. But yeah, again, I just have to sit down and just watch it and not lose focus.
Yeah, and you can watch all three in a row on the Platinum Collection Volume 2, which is nice and convenient for everyone, you know. click my link, buy, and all that good stuff, of course. And yeah, but
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
that's it. And because that of course helps support the channel as well. You guys all let me know, and let all of us know, I should say, what your favorite of the trilogy is. Is it this one? Is it Rabbit Fire? Is it Rabbit Seasoning? I think they're all great, and they're masterpiece of the animated short art form. So there you are. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.
You're despicable, but I still love you.
It's commentary season. Dun, 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 dun. Diabetes. Or you'll just be full of carbonation, since figured if you're going to do my drinking game, I don't drink, so just, I don't know, drink some Coke Zero, and you'll be burping like crazy.
Or if you hold it all in, you'll just float to the sky.
What are you, Willy Wonka or something, boy?
You beat me to it. Grandpa!
It's like, you lose. Good
Anyway.
day, sir.
You lose, I say. You lose, sir. Good day, son. Bad day, that is.
Now we need the Foghorn Leghorn Willy Wonka movie. Now we have to will it into existence. You know, boy, I got five. I say five tickets in them chocolate bars. I say chocolate. Yeah, anyway.
Oh no! Now you've given me a Facebook idea. Anyway,
God.
moving
Okay,
on.
is it baseball season?
Well, it is, yeah. It's time for Manny's baseball time, with baseball trivia for you today. Bum, ba 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 bum ba ba. Charge! Play ball. The MLB season's currently going on as we speak, as we record this in June of 2024. And the traditional midway point of the season, the All-Star break, is going to occur in July. So we still got plenty of baseball going. And just double checking the standings right now, my favorite team, the New York Yankees, are tied for the best record in baseball. 42 wins and 19 losses. Tied with a team that's other people. So I guess a little quick. Now we're talking about baseball. So in New Jersey, we're an interesting state because, you know, part of us feel like we're New Yorkers because of our proximity to New York City. And some of us, the weird ones, feel a kinship with Philadelphia because South Jersey is weird. I mean, they're closer to Philadelphia. And as I was saying, the Yankees, since I live in northern or central Jersey, whatever you want to call it, I live close to New York City. So I have two teams I could pick, the New York Yankees or the New York Mets. And I've been a Yankee fan my whole life. But if I lived further south, I would have been a fan of the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Phillies have the same exact record as the Yankees, 42-19. However, they are in two completely different leagues. The Yankees are in the American League, and the Phillies are in the National League. And who knows, maybe at the end of the season, the Yankees and the Phillies could play each other in the World Series. So a battle, as we call it, the Battle of the Turnpike, because the New Jersey Turnpike runs north to south. And then also you got football with the Giants and the Eagles, but they both suck. But anyway, I digress. And then the Giants, of course, are a New York team, but they play in New Jersey, which makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, there's Manny's baseball talk for the day. The audience demands it. I mean, and you were saying with the different scores, for better or for worse, like earlier today, I was looking up something, obviously Ninja Turtles related, shocker, and somebody tried to upload some of the background music for the show that was composed for the original series from 1987. The music that was written by Dennis Brown and Chuck Lorre, the same Chuck Lorre that went on to create some huge sitcoms. Yes, he wrote the Ninja Turtles theme song and the music on the show before he started.
Really?
Yeah, Chuck Lorre, same guy, yep. That was one of his first gigs. He was a songwriter, and he banged out the 1987 Turtles theme that we still hear to this day with Dennis Brown, and they wrote the background music for the show. And he got screwed in royalties. Again, shocker. Good old Hollywood. But it's kind of a...
Kiss my ass, Hollywood.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a bummer, like, oh, well, bummer what happened to him. But, like, when you watch certain cartoons, well, it happens a lot in, I guess, older cartoons. I don't know about more modern cartoons because I don't really watch a lot of them. But they keep reusing the same production music over and over again, you know, in the background. They keep using the same cues. Again, going with Ninja Turtles, rewatching the 2003 show, I keep hearing the same cues over and over again. But the beauty of these older cartoons, because they couldn't, oh yeah, we already have a recording of this cue, just plop it in here and call it a day. You know, they had to physically record, you know, these cues over and over again. And I think there are the rare instances where they reuse certain, I believe, sound effects. But for the music itself, they had to do it from beginning to end for each short, and Stalling reused multiple cues, you know, the same songs. Pretty Woman is Lady in Red. A Stupid Guy, Puddinghead Jones. Sports, you know, Frat, something like that. But he always gave a new spin to the arrangement for that particular cue. And that's something that is lost. And it's not just animation. I noticed this in live action shows as well, that, you know, they just rely on, they have the cues, and, you know, obviously the composer of these shows, they want to do more, but they're like, we have to write all these cues in as little time as possible for as little pay as possible, and then they just, you know, wash, rinse, repeat over and over again. And it's a shame that that art has disappeared over time. It's so rare that, like, every episode of a TV show, you know, has completely brand new music written for that specific episode.
You're despicable.